This video has been highly anticipated. Highly anticipated. Jalen Hurts is better than Joe Burrow. Let's talk about it.
You work 364 days of the year just for one moment, and the mission has been accomplished. And I know the iteration of this team this year will never be the same. You know, you go through changes, and every year is different, every team is different, and so we'll have our moments allocated to enjoy everything we've been able to accomplish, but also understanding that, you know, we're behind in terms of what's to come, and it's been a great ride this year.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Keith. I'm from Black Quarterback Series, and today we got the top 10 list, and at number 6, is it 6? I think we're on number 5. So at number 5, we have Joe Burrow. Now, these numbers are absolutely ridiculous. Joe Burrow, 4,918 yards passing, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 74.7 QBR, offensive line ranked 21. So let's jump to the offensive line rank. Joe Burrow has been out in Cincinnati with nothing for a while, right? The offensive line rank being 21 is not surprising because that's the reason he's been hurt. And then show him a little bit of malpractice when it comes to bringing him back. I'm sure he wanted to come back, but they shouldn't have brought him back when he did because then he got hurt again. I don't really have much to say about Joe Burrow other than, like, he's absolutely spectacular. And given the referencing offensive line, he could get back to the Super Bowl. We've seen he's one of the only teams that beat Kansas City in the AFC. None of the other teams in the AFC can beat him. And that's his claim to fame. He's really the only team in the AFC that can beat him. I said this a while ago when Patrick Mahomes won his last Super Bowl. Lamar, Josh, Joe, a couple of other quarterbacks that I'm forgetting their names. They are side characters to Patrick Mahomes' overall story. They're like stepping stones to Pat, right? But with Joe Burrow, he had the one great season, and he's putting up really, really good numbers. And but it's not translating to enough wins. Because if this is a wins thing, and I'm sure you guys are like, where's Lamar Jackson in this? We'll talk about Lamar. Joe Burrow, to me, has not done enough to justify, let's just say for what it is, to not justify being above Jalen, especially with Jalen winning the Super Bowl. So that was my caveat. It's about a combination of wins, overall playoff success. What did you have to overcome? That's why Joe is so high on this list. He's number 5. That's why he's so high on this list, because he just overcame so much BS in his organization for them to even be competent. To even be competent, right? And you might be like, Keith, well, if you put Joe Burrow on the Eagles, they're unstoppable, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's true. But as we transition to Jalen, there's something that Jalen is doing that Joe just wouldn't be able to. And so as we move on to Jalen Hurts, these are just passing numbers. 2,903 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 65.6 QBR, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And you might like, those numbers are nothing compared to what Joe is doing. But this is the kicker. 14 rushing touchdowns, 630 yards on the ground, right? Keith, that's not enough rushing yards. Why he not rushing for 1,000? 11 of those rush yards are tush push. 11 of those are tush push touchdowns. So 7 of those touchdowns are him being great. And so I watched every touchdown he threw this year. He was throwing dots. He was putting it on the money. He was making plays. He was doing what the team asked for him to do. Now, Keith, he has so much talent. His offensive line is the best in the league per Pro Football Focus. Like, I get it. I understand all the knocks against Jalen Hurts and why people will put Joe above Jalen Hurts. But Jalen Hurts, just like Joe, but just on a lower level. By a lower level, I mean they're not winning at the highest level as the Eagles are. Jalen Hurts is the rock for this team. You take Jalen Hurts off this team, and put like an average quarterback there or below average quarterback, I don't think they have a lot of talent, but they don't win nothing. Look at the 49ers. The 49ers are about to have to overpay Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is a perfect example of you can have the most talent in the league, but if you don't have talent at that position, you're not winning anything. The 49ers made it to the Super Bowl 2-3 times with okay to below average quarterback play, and they never won. Why? It's because of Shanahan's play calling, but it also is because they never had a guy that can get them over the top. Jalen Hurts' two best games are in the Super Bowl against perceived the best quarterback in the game right now. Widely known as the best quarterback in the game right now, right? So that's ultimately why I have Jalen Hurts above Joe Burrow. It's the steadiness of the ship. It's you need elite play at that position in order to win at the highest level. And Jalen Hurts has done it. He has got to the Super Bowl twice. He has beat the guy that Joe beat, but he beat him for the ultimate prize. If they both, I will be honest with you, if Joe had a Super Bowl, I don't even know how I would do this list. I would have to do something else. Joe might be higher because the numbers, and then you have a ring, and it's just so insurmountable that I don't know if Jalen could get that. But the Eagles are just a stacked team. Jalen Hurts should not be punished for having great talent around him. They didn't run the ball well in the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley did not have a good game in the Super Bowl. They won that game on the back of Jalen Hurts being great. And if it wasn't for the fumble, we might be looking at Jalen Hurts having 2 Super Bowls, and then at that point, he's above Lamar Jackson at that point. If Jalen Hurts had 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, 2 Super MVPs, he's probably, lowest 2 on this list. But what Jalen Hurts is doing with the talent that he has is great. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Everybody can't do what Jalen Hurts is doing with this team. You look at the 49ers. The 49ers is a great example. If you can have all the talent in the world at every position, have the best. The 49ers have a better overall structure when it comes to their offensive schemes and all this and all this. And the 49ers don't have top-level quarterback play. Jalen Hurts is the reason that they have top-level quarterback play. So the ultimate thing here is the tush push. Let's just get out in front of it. Let's talk about the tush push. So the tush push accounted for 11 touchdowns out of the 11 out of the 14. I'm sorry, 11 out of the 14 that Jalen Hurts scored. Jalen Hurts total had 32 touchdowns. 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, with over 2,000 passing yards. Those are not stalwart numbers, but he got it done. Yeah, right? Like he's the driving force, blah, blah, blah. Everybody in the league can't do this tush push like they do the tush push. Jalen Hurts benches squats like over 600 pounds, which means he has the lower body strength for this tush push to work. Josh Allen don't run the tush push like they do. I remember Travis Kelce was running the tush push early last year and some of this year. Like, these guys are not running this like Jalen is. It's the ultimate equalizer. Best offensive line in the league with the only quarterback in the league that could do this possibly other than Josh Allen at a high level. That shouldn't be a negative. Jalen Hurts has an unstoppable move mixed with Nick Sirianni, a stalwart Super Bowl championship duo. So Jalen Hurts shouldn't be punished for having an unstoppable move. The FU3 that LeBron got, the Steph Curry 3, the Jordan Skyhook, or not Jordan, the Kareem Skyhook. Like, these are unstoppable moves. You just hope that they miss. Jalen Hurts shouldn't be punished for having an unstoppable move, because anybody in any sport would love to have an unstoppable move. And there's been times that he hasn't got it, but it's almost unstoppable. So that's my case for why Jalen's number 4 and why Joe's number 3. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not mad at this either way. And we're going to talk about this with 2 other guys on this list. I completely understand if you have Joe Burrow at 4 and Jalen Hurts at 5. But just what I perceive and what I want, I have Hurts at number 4, and Joe at number 5. There's really no wrong answer here. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys either later on this week or Monday for another episode of This Week in Sports. And I'll talk to you guys at that time. Peace. Enjoy the weather if it feels good. Peace.